So we're talking about Highway 6 and Center Street. Please just describe this area for us. What do you see from the perspective of your department?
So US 6 is a major route for Utahns in this area. It is a major area that a lot of people go through and transport through. So we do see a lot of traffic volume through this area, and Spanish Fork itself is growing and is continuing to grow quickly. And so we've been doing a lot of improvements. We just finished an improvement in Spanish Fork City, closer to I-15 in that area, to help improve that. We're doing more improvements along Spanish Fork Canyon all the way out on US 6. But in this particular area on Center Street and US 6, we've noticed some speeding, we've noticed people running lights, we've noticed that people are not obeying the law. And we are not an enforcement agency. That is the enforcement police that have to make sure that people are doing what they're supposed to be doing, driving safely, not speeding, not running through red lights. But we've decided that we're going to put up AWS signs close to that intersection. Those are advanced warning signs, the yellow signs that flash that says there's a stop ahead, please slow down and stop. So we're hoping that this will help in this particular area right here.
Do you think from previous installments of this AWS, did I say that correctly? Have those signs worked in the past for other areas with similar concerns?
Yeah, so we have them in other parts of this road right here on US 6. We have them closer to the mouth of the canyon, and they do help. It usually helps when it's difficult to see the light ahead or if there's a bend or something like that. So they do help warn drivers as they're going down. So we decided it's a good idea to put it there, and we put it, usually when we put them in, we do it both directions as well. And so we're going to do the same thing here, and that should help people, let people know that there's a stop ahead.
And you addressed what is being done to address this safety concern. Please tell us, what is the timeline for this project?
It's usually pretty quick to do an AWS sign. We're hoping within 6 months we'll have something in there. I can't give you a definitive timeline, but that's what we're hoping for.
What's the approximate cost to put these in?
I don't have the exact number. I know most signalized intersections cost around $300,000 to $400,000. This is way less than that, so I'm guessing somewhere around $100,000. I can give you an exact number maybe later, but we'd have to do a little study and find out exactly what it's going to cost. He can give me an estimate. I can give you a closer estimate.
Perfect. And you may have already addressed this, but let's talk about the short-term solution to this safety concern that people tell us they have.
Well, the short-term solution would be to ask people to slow down, obey the law, don't speed. Speeding kills. It is seriously dangerous to speed, to not obey the laws, and to run red lights. It will cause a conflict of serious injury or death, so we just ask the public to obey the laws.
And what is a long-term project to solve this?
Well, Spanish Fork City, we're working with Spanish Fork City. This is their area, and they have a lot of needs and development they're going to do in the future here. And so we're working with them to see what we need to do along this corridor to make improvements. But that's going to be a while. It's going to take some time. Farther down, US 6, where a lot of people have concerns, we're doing a lot of upgrades and things over the next several years along Spanish Fork Canyon in US 6.
Let's focus on Center Street. Is there a plan, and I'm new to the area, but please, is there a plan there to redirect traffic to another direction so it's away from homes?
No, there's no current plan to redirect traffic in this area. It's a major corridor. We plan to keep that open and as is. I think Spanish Fork, you'd have to talk to Spanish Fork City, but I think they have some plans to move some roads around and make some different connections that they would make with us if they need to, and we would give them access to that.
And what is, you mentioned, that this is an enforcement issue with the police department. What are you guys communicating with them to make sure that you work together to keep people safe?
Well, we work with the police on every major incident that they see coming, and if there is one, we always meet, and we always have a system in place to review every serious accident. And we have seen some along this corridor, and so we always meet with them. I know that they're shorthanded. We know they're shorthanded, and we just try to help them as best we can with what warning signs and lights and lighting that we can for them. But really, when it comes to enforcement, it is up to the local police. UHP is usually pretty busy with the highway, the interstate. Sometimes county sheriff can patrol this area, but enforcement is a difficult issue because there's a lot of people. They can't be everywhere. They have a lot to cover, and so we just ask the public to please obey the street laws.
I mean, and they're speeding everywhere.
Yep.
So the concern that the residents have told me, they're telling me that it has been going on for years.
Mm-hmm.
Why did it take so long to put this sign up?
We look at every area as whether or not it warrants a signal or warrants something like this, an advanced warning system. Based upon the needs that we've currently seen, we thought it best, because we do have AWS signs in other places along this corridor, that we should put it there. So we are proactively putting in this sign to hopefully help mitigate the issue of speeding in the area. But again, it's up to the public to obey the street laws and for enforcement to enforce those laws.
Absolutely. Again, why did it take so long? Was there previous studies to this and it wasn't?
There was no plan to put this in. There was no request or plan. There was no warranted need. As we saw, as you may have heard, I haven't heard of any serious incident at this location, like a fatality or something like that. I haven't heard of any at this location.
Let's see we were talking about the incidents that have happened at this intersection. I've put in a request with the agencies in that area for those statistics. Does UDOT have statistics on this area that they could share with us? The number of crashes, fatalities?
I'd have to look that up. We usually get that information actually from the police itself. And the police, it also depends on the officer on scene to write down all the detailed information of exactly what happened in the area wherever it happened. So we get our reports from them, and we meet with them regularly on incidents that happen.
Is there anything else you'd like to, a message to the people that, you know, whether it's a small community or a big city, safety concerns matter for people that live there? What message would you like to give them?
Well, we just like to tell everyone to drive safely. UDOT's goal is to get people where they want to go, how they want to get there, safely. And the safe part is really upon the drivers. They really need to drive safely, obey the street laws, and then hopefully they can get to where they need to go safely.
What about the big rigs that go through this area?
They need to obey the laws too. We expect all of our truckers to obey the laws, to make their checkpoints, to make sure that their rigs are up to standard, and that they drive safely as well through the corridors, and don't speed through the red lights, please.
Is there anything else you'd like to add? A message that you want to get across in the story?
Just that UDOT is doing all that it can to help mitigate traffic issues throughout all of Utah, and we're doing our best to message out to everyone that to drive safely and to be polite to all your other fellow drivers.